If you're not aware already, the 2017 Golf GTi has been released. They've done some upgrades to it, and when I saw this, I was just kind of blown away. I drive a 2016 Ford Focus ST. Definitely not opposed to the Golf GTi in any way. I definitely respect its heritage and everything like that. But when it came to buying one, it just wasn't the car for me. However, this update is beautiful. I mean, the wheels that they chose here, the body kit updates that they've made around the whole thing are beautiful. Just the inlet, the cuts on the front of it make the car's stance more aggressive. They've even added some cooling vents down toward go toward the braking, and they've even done something. And this is very minor, but the GTIs that are fitted with the adaptive cruise control, the radar sensor is no longer visible in the cooling air intake. Rather, it's going to be hidden behind the VW badge. So just little things like that are nice details that they're paying attention to. But I mean, just look at this car sitting here stanced with those massive wheels. It just looks great. Another thing that they've done is this red line here that runs right under the GTI extends into the LED daytime running lights. So that just looks really cool as well. I just think this is how the GTI should have looked from day one. I think it was a little too subtle, and in my case, that's why I went with the Focus ST, because the GTI was just too subdued. And I just thought it needed to be a little more aggressive. Again, that's just personal opinions. The funny thing about the GTI is they say it doesn't show the financial standing of the person driving it. So in other words, it's a car that someone who makes $1 million a year could be driving, and it's someone that makes 30 grand a year could be driving. It's just that type of a car. It's that good. So, but I mean, again, I think the updates they've done are just really well thought out. I mean, look at this lady. She's like, "Oh, puppy, your GTI is so cute. I want to suck your cock." But look, she's thirsty. Gosh, she keeps coming back in these. Other things, moving to the interior of the car, are the massive navigation screen. It's 12.3 inches across. Now, it's not, like a square 12 by 12. It's 12 inches across, so it's really wide, which is a nice feature when you might have a split screen. If you have one part of the screen that has like the highway features, and the other part of the highway like exit ramps, and the other one has the actual map. Just the technology in this car it looks really advanced. Also, the gauges are totally digital. I'm a fan of analog gauges. I think that's how they should always be. But, I think these look decent. If it were my car, I would want it to be analog. The shifter, again, is nice. The steering wheel looks like it has a great thickness to it. That's like a really big thing when you're in a performance car, is you need to have a wheel that's thick enough. In my Focus ST, it's a little skinny if I were to complain. Whereas this GTI, it actually looks like it's the perfect girth. Has a nice little garage there to sit your phone on or whatever. I always like when cars don't have the cup holders open. I like when you can slide that little thing over top of it. Very small feature, but necessary. I just think they've done a really good job. It made me look back at it like, maybe I would buy this car. But I still think, if anything, I would buy the Golf R. The GTI just isn't quite the power that I want. It has great efficiency. It has a really clean engine. Just look at this engine. The intake hose, really clean there. The whole bay. And not everything's plastic. I mean, you can see a lot of the detail in the engine. I think it's a very simple and clean looking engine. I just really appreciate how they built that. You could actually open your hood and appreciate the engineering that went into it. Whereas most cars nowadays is just covered up by plastic. There's still a lot of plastic on this, but compared to the competition, it is really not that bad. So I just another good detail. But here's an up close look at the red extending into just above the LED lines. Just a nice little detail. And these are things that regular people who just drive their car from point A to point B are not going to see. But as enthusiasts, and especially GTI owners, they're going to love little details like this. Or I think they will. I don't know. I don't own one. I don't really know, what they like and don't like. But I feel like it's a detail that I would like as an enthusiast. So I think that's a good look. Another thing, I mean, I know I could Google this, but I'm just going to leave it out for conversation, is why do they put this plaid-looking stitch on the seats? I know it has to do with the GTI heritage, but just wondering. But yeah, I think they did a really nice job with this redesign. I mean, this is going to help their sales immensely. And what I think is going to help them the most is the technology features behind this, because the people that are starting to buy cars, the 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds that might be looking for a sporty car, and this is what they want their parents to buy them or whatever. Or I don't know if you've heard, but if you open lemonade stands now, you can also buy cars like this. But the technology behind these cars is just incredible, and things like adaptive cruise control, lane departure, all those types of things to be jammed into this little car, and then to have high definition screens like this, it's just amazing. And that's what's going to sell a lot of the generations that are looking at these cars. So that's something that Volkswagen has paid attention to, and it's going to help them with their sales. But yeah, I think this is a really good redesign. I'd love to review a GTI because I've never driven one. And I think it'd be interesting to compare it to my Focus ST. So if anyone is in the Phoenix area and would allow me to do that, I'd really appreciate it. But that's something that I need to do here soon. But yeah, I hope you're liking all the videos. Please comment below. Subscribe if you like my videos. If you don't like my videos, don't subscribe. Just dislike and move on. But other than that, we will see you soon. So right after I post this video, I'm going to be heading on a red-eye flight to West Palm Beach, Florida. Going to be filming my buddy's STI again after 15,000 miles and possibly some FRS footage. But that's about it. I hope you're all enjoying the content. Should be some nice content vlogging and some cars this weekend. But yeah, go ahead and drop the beat, Forrest.
Think you're overreacting, spitting rhymes so divine, I'm defying laws of attraction, planting seeds in your mind of the finer things and the passion, fantasize through the times, imagine you with an accent. Yo, I just wanna get you naked with that back bent so I can feel the devil moving, but he's in slow-mo. I be steady grinding, working, trying to make that dough.